students, welcome to the third video of function. In previous video we had seen the definition of function, range, then domain of a function, then we had seen some example based on simple definition of function. Now in today's video we are going to see the types of function. Mainly we are going to focus on the important types of function. So there are many types of functions like algebraic, logarithmic, exponential, composite, inverse, parametric, implicit, even function and odd function. Okay, all these are the types of function. Now let's see one by one. So let's start with algebraic function. So algebraic function is a function that involves only algebraic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, as well as fraction or rational exponents. Then algebraic function as a machine where real numbers go in and mathematical operations occur and other numbers come out. So what this means is algebraic equation means only algebraic terms. Okay, it may be in multiplication form, it may be in division form, it may be in addition or subtraction form. Okay, but only variable is given. So that is an example of algebraic equation. If y is given as x square plus x plus 1, simple algebraic terms. Okay, so if y is equal to x plus 5, then this is known as a algebraic equation. Why? Because only algebraic terms are given. Then second is logarithmic form. So as the name suggests, logarithmic means functions having logarithm. Okay, so if the function is having logarithm, then that function is known as a logarithmic function. So see, f of x is equal to log x. F of x is equal to log x plus root of x square minus a square. But log is given, therefore function is a logarithmic function. Then again log sin x. Log is given, so function is logarithmic function. F of x is log x to the base 10 plus log 10 to the base x plus log x to the base x plus log 10 to the base 10. Here log is given, right? So function is a logarithmic function. Now suppose f of x is given as log x plus 5. Okay, now the function is logarithmic or algebraic. So log is given, therefore the function is a logarithmic function. We can define this function as a logarithmic function. Then next type is exponential function. So exponential functions involve exponential terms, right? So the function involving exponential terms are called exponential function. They are inverse of logarithmic function. So y is equal to, or f of x is equal to e raised to x, a raised to x, e raised to mx plus e raised to minus mx, e raised to x into sin x. Okay, so basically this e term is a inverse of logarithmic function, inverse of natural log, right? E is inverse of natural log. So if the function involves exponential term, then that function is known as an exponential function. Okay, then next is very important concept. This concept you are going to use in second chapter you are going to find the derivative of composite function. So for that, this composite function is very important concept. Now composite function means combining the function. Means what? See here, see the example. I am directly telling you the example, I am directly giving you the example. So example is, if y f of x is x square plus 1 the whole square, okay, in this case we are going to substitute x square plus 1 as u. Okay, what is given? Y is equal to x square plus 1 whole square. Okay, and what I am going to do, I am going to substitute this x square plus 1 as u. So now y is equal to, or f of x is equal to u square, right? So here I am not writing f of x, I am going to write f of u. So y or f of u is equal to u square. Okay, y or f of u is equal to u square. Now y is function, let me clear this. Now this y is a function of u, and u in terms of x, right? Y is a function of u and u is given in terms of x. Y is a composite function of x through u. Y is not directly connected to x, right? Y connected to u, and u is a function of x, and this function is known as a composite function. So if y is equal to x square plus 1 the whole square is given, that means there are two functions. Function 1 is a x square, okay, suppose this whole term, or we can say u square, this whole term is u, so this is in the form of u square, right? And this u is a function of x square plus 1, right? U is a function of x square plus 1. So there are two functions. One is u square and the other one is x square plus 1. So the combination or combining two or more functions is known as a composite function. Okay. So we find cases where y is a composite function of u, right, v through x. For example, y is equal to root of sine 2x plus 1. In this case, u is equal to sine 2x plus 1, right? U is sine 2x plus 1. So y is a function of u, right? And v is 2x plus 1. So y is equal to root of u, where u is sine v and v is 2x plus 1. Okay. So f of u is root u is f of v means sine v, and v is f of x means 2x plus 1. So the use of composite function is found in the topic of derivative. In derivative we are going to use this composite function. Okay. Further, the composite of f and g is written as f dot gx, f dot gx or gx, okay, or f gx. So it can be written as f dot gx or f g of x. Okay. Then similarly g dot fx can be written as gf of x, f dot fx can be written as f of x, g dot gx can be written as g of x. Okay. So the functions can be written as this. Okay. Then next type is inverse function. Okay. So inverse function, if two functions f of x and g of x are such that f dot g is equal to g dot fx is equal to x, then f and g, we are talking about inverse function. So in an inverse function, if two functions f of x and g of x are such that f dot gx, okay, is equal to g dot fx, and that is equal to x, then f and g are identity function and inverse of each other. Okay, so function g is denoted by f inverse and is read as f inverse. This is written as like this: g will be f inverse when f dot gx will be g dot fx and both will be x. Okay, then g is the inverse of f. So for example, f of x is 2x plus 3 and g of x is x minus 3 upon 2. Then f dot gx means f gx. Now as per our previous rule, we have to replace x by gx in f of x. So by replacing that, we get 2g of x plus 3. So that is equal to 2x minus 3 upon 2 plus 3. Right? So 2 cancel, minus 3 plus 3, 0. So that is equal to x. Similarly, we have to find g dot f x, that means g f of x. Now in g x function, I have to replace this x by f of x. So that will be f of x minus 3 upon 2. But f of x is 2x plus 3. So 2x plus 3 upon 2. Then plus 3 minus 3, 0. 2 cancel. So that is equal to x. And f dot gx is x. G dot f x is x. Right? So condition is satisfied. And therefore f and g are inverse to each other. Okay. So inverse function means f dot g, okay, we are finding f of gx, then we are finding g f of x, and both are equal to x. Then that function is a inverse function. Okay. Then next is a parametric function. This is also a very important type which we are going to use in derivative. In parametric, x and y, both variables are given in terms of third parameter. So see here, example, x is a cos theta, y is a b sin theta. Okay, x and y both are given in terms of theta. So this is called as a parametric function. See here, first example, x is equal to a cos theta, y is equal to a sin theta. Okay. Second example, x is equal to a t square, y is equal to 2at. Right. So x and y both are given in terms of t, variable t or parameter t. Okay. So whenever x and y both variables are given in terms of third parameter, in terms of third term, okay, x is not given in terms of y and y is not given in terms of x, then that is known as a parametric function. Okay. Then implicit and explicit, there are two terms. Okay, implicit and explicit. Implicit is again very important function. We are going to find derivative of implicit function. So we need this implicit concept in derivative chapter. So implicit means what? Implicit is a function of both x and y. Till now we are saying that f of x is equal to x square plus 5, right? But in implicit, x and y both variable are combined like this. See example 1, x square plus xy minus y square equal to 0. See second example, x cube plus y cube is equal to 3axy. Okay. Third example, x square plus y square equal to sin x plus y. so on. So in all example x and y are combined, right? We can't separate x in terms of y or y in terms of x. So if both the variables are combined, if function is given in the form of x and y, okay, function is defined in terms of both the variable x and y variable, then that function is known as a implicit function. Okay, word is implicit. Okay, if the function is given in terms of both x and y variable, then that function is known as a implicit function. Then next is a even function. Okay, very important type. We can't say given function is even or odd by just looking at that. We have to check whether the given function is a even, odd, or some other type. Okay, so for even there is a condition. Condition is whenever f of minus x is equal to f of x, then f of x is called as an even function. For example, see, if f of x is given as x square, now to check whether this f of x is equal to x square is even function or not, what I have to do? I have to replace this x by minus x. Then what I will get? I will get minus x square. Minus x square is again x square, right? And this x square is f of x. So finally what I am getting? I am getting f of minus x as f of x, right? There is no change. What I am doing? I am replacing x by minus x. Okay, see here f of x is x square. Then I am replacing this x by minus x. But there is no change. Still I am getting x square. No change at all. So whenever I am getting f of minus x as f of x only, then that function will be a even function. Okay, see third example, f of x is given as x into sin x. Now to check whether the function is even or odd, what I have to do? I have to replace x by minus x. So f of minus x, that will be a minus x into sin minus x, right? So minus x into sin minus theta. Sin minus theta is minus sin theta. So minus sin x. Minus minus will be plus. So what I am getting? I am getting x into sin x, and that is nothing but f of x. So finally I got f of minus x as f of x. Okay, so the function is even function. Clear? So whenever f of minus x is equal to f of x, then the function will be a even function. Then odd function, again there is a condition. If f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, then function will be a odd function. So see example 1, f of x is given as x cube upon x square plus 1. Now to check whether the function is even or odd, what I have to do? I have to find f of minus x. So that will be a minus x cube upon minus x square plus 1. Okay, so minus x cube upon minus x square will be x square plus 1. So this minus x cube upon x square plus 1, this can be written as minus x cube upon x square plus 1, right? So that means minus f of x. This x cube upon x square plus 1 is what? F of x. So minus, and instead of this part I am writing f of x. So minus f of x. So whenever f of minus x is minus f of x, then that function is known as a odd function. Clear? So with this I am concluding this video. Thank you students.